is happening here. It's happening, and you just heard these, or I don't know if you heard actually, it's happening as young as elementary schools. It's happening in every level, every division, every sport, in every state. And to believe that that's not the truth is to believe the narrative that's being pushed, that it is a non-issue. And I can attest, I get the messages from young girls, I get the messages from parents, I get the messages from the coaches who feel silenced. It's happening here in Texas.
The Save Women's Sports Act is now law in the state of Texas.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy JD. I hope you've all had a great day. I hope you've all had a great week so far. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the news I briefly touched on in yesterday's video involving Riley Gaines and other women who pushed for Senate Bill 15, or the Women's Sports Act, to be signed in Texas. Now, as we all know, women's sport has become a huge debate because of the men who are identifying as women crossing over into the women's sports, taking places or awards away from women when they shouldn't be. And Riley Gaines has been a huge advocate after the whole Lia Thomas situation and has pushed for massive change within the world of women's sport. But she goes on to send out the following tweet to announce this. The Save Women's Sport Act is now law in Texas, thanks to the leadership of Gov. Abbott, Mayors Middleton, Valerie for Texas for getting this through on to the next state. Which state should we push for next? And as I said in yesterday's video, all of them. The Senate Bill 15 prohibits a biological male from competing in a college level athletic competition designated for a biological female athlete to maintain competitive fairness. The bill also creates a mechanism for people to seek injunctive relief against a Texas public college or university or an intercollegiate athletic team if it violates the provisions of the bill. So this is absolutely amazing news. It's a huge victory, right? Finally, women and girls in Texas will get the chance to play against other women and girls without a chance of a man coming in and the institution having to reaffirm that person's beliefs because they don't want to come across as offensive. It's so sad that we've reached this point. Do you not think that, people have to sign in bills and put policies in place to stop this madness? It's completely backwards and it should never have reached this point, but here we are. The women involved nonetheless should feel so proud of themselves, and I'm sure they do. However, just like with anything, when anybody questions woke ideology, progressive ideology, there are some people out there who simply cannot believe it, and they turn up in their numbers and protest outside the building. They scream, shout and cry and try to intimidate everybody involved. And this is what happened. Riley Gaines and activists say they were spat on, attacked by protesters at ceremonial bill signing in Texas. An estimated 250 protesters gathered at the signing, eyewitnesses say. Former NCAA Division I athletes Riley Gaines and Paula Scanlan were among those who were targeted by hostile protesters that gathered in Texas on Monday in opposition of the Save Women's Sports Act, because they absolutely cannot believe, women want to compete against women. That's how delusional, crazy this all is, right? But according to those in attendance, protesters that gathered at the event threw items and spat on those who gathered in support of the legislation. Independent Women's Network's Austin chapter leader Michelle Evans told Fox News Digital after the event that she was assaulted when she left the building to observe the protest, which she estimated to be a crowd of around 250. It was, I guess, the best word to describe them. They were rabid. Yeah, and there's no other word really, is there? When I turned around to go back inside of the building, that's when somebody threw water on me, Evans recalled. Somebody told me they know where I effing live. There was somebody that got in front of me to try to physically block me from going back inside and pushed her body up against mine. Somebody hit my arm, and then someone, a woman in a pink ski mask and sunglasses, spat in my open eye. Evans goes on to say a suspect was apprehended. She told law enforcement that she wanted to press charges and was told by police that the suspect would be issued a ticket for a misdemeanor assault. Then we have a tweet on top of everything here posted by the Independent Women's Voice saying, "Disgusting. Protesters targeted young girls outside of the signing of the Save Women's Sports Act in Texas. Girls as young as 5 were harassed and called vulgar names, all for joining the celebration of protecting equal athletic opportunity." Well, I mean, they certainly sound like a lovely bunch, right? I'm sure most of us would like to be surrounded by said people. Now, you have to remember this isn't the first time Riley Gaines has experienced something like this. I think she went to a college not so long ago and was surrounded by the people at the college. They were threatening her. They wouldn't let her leave. Misery loves company, and they always act like this because, again, they simply can't believe somebody would question the woke progressive ideology, because maybe, just maybe, for so long now they've been told they're always in the right and anybody who dares question you is in the wrong. You have the right to push back in any way you deem necessary. It's a very crazy world we're living in. Now, before we discuss it any further, I'm just going to show you some of the clips that are going viral of these protesters who are acting in a very aggressive way. Let's just say that. Take a watch. Sometimes, you know, and I'm not going to talk for too long here, but sometimes you really have to sit back and think to yourself, you know, maybe put a mirror and look at yourself and think, yeah, these sort of people do exist. They're just not on the internet. And I always do wonder with these situations involving Riley Gaines and others, why these people go after women who are in vulnerable situations. I mean, they've tried to intimidate kids as well. I mean, they never go after groups of large men, do they? Because I think they know what would happen. And it also frustrates me when I see these weak, emotional men trying to intimidate these women and act like they've done something heroic. I don't think these people need me to tell them really what they're doing isn't heroic. It is quite disgraceful. And I guess this is just what happens, you know, when you remove strong masculine figures, stoicism, and other factors from the world and replace them with delusion and chaos. But these women, Riley Gaines, Paula Scanlan, and all the others involved should feel really proud of themselves that they've got this far. I don't know if they thought they would even get this far because of how progressive the world is. But as we go further, as more and more women keep voicing their opinion, more and more people are seeing the light. Whereas beforehand, you know, they might not have thought about it, they didn't really care. Now they're seeing the issues with all of it, and not only with the sport itself, but then, you know, how men can come into locker rooms as well. More and more people are waking up to it, and it is great to see. And I hope as they go further, as they continue to push for this great activism, they can make changes in other states too. That would be great to see. Imagine all of America adopting this bill that Texas has just signed. That would be great progress, and it would be a great thing for women's sports, girls and women across the country. And it would set a great example for the rest of the world as well, because as we know, especially in this country, we like to follow what America does, the good and the bad. So if we see America doing this, maybe we too would implement it in all sports. I know British rowing has just banned transgender athletes from competing in female events completely, but we need more and more policies. It's sad we need policies, but we need more and more to make sure this just doesn't happen. Elite level and low level. Again, you know, these women, these girls deserve to play the sport that they love, knowing they're going to be safe, knowing that they're going to compete against women and not have truth and reality pulled from underneath them like a rug. But that is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts down below on all that we've discussed today. I would love to see how you guys feel about it all. If you have enjoyed today, please, for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I'm not going to say big red subscribe button this time. It's going to take a while for me to get used to. You know, it's like calling Twitter X. It's a bit weird, you know. No idea why I called it big red subscribe button in the first place. Amateur behavior, but hit that big red. Are you serious? Hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, share this video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.